All right, everyone, we are exploring some brand new products from Concord and Ninth. They released their Christmas items for this year, and I'm going to be doing several videos on a lot of their beautiful things. So the first one that they sent over to me is this Jolly St. Nick stamp set, and it also comes with a stencil. So we're going to do a really cute Santa. You have an optional stripe for a background if you want to just do a really simple, quick card. And then I have the coordinating dies as well, which are super fun. So let's go ahead and first grab some ink. We're going to do some stenciling, and it's going to be really cute. So there are 4 stencils in here. This is an idea of what you can do here. So you have, let's see, I can't imagine what the background is yet. So I'm wondering if that's all the same stencil or what. Let's just look. Okay, so you have the Santa. Here is just your background, which is so neat. And then, oh, okay, and then this is just our Santa here. Okay, so which one do we do? I want to do just the Santa and then do something different for my background, I think. Oh, they have them labeled on here. So this says Santa head mask. This says hat and cheeks. And then this says eyes and mustache. Okay, that is super cool. And then this one says, well, it doesn't. It just says Concord and Ninth. Okay. It's obvious on what it is, but this is really cool because you can use this on other cards as well. It's actually more than that too. Okay, hold on now. Let's start over. We have the background, then we have the hat and cheeks, but we also have the face. So these are all that we have 2 different stencils on one sheet, which is awesome. We have the mask. I don't think I'm going to need that. And then for my idea at least, and then we have this one that is face and shadows. And then we have the eyes and mustache. Okay, it is all coming together now. I'm getting it. All right, first we're going to grab a piece of cardstock, and I'm going to tape this down, and we're going to grab some ink and make this come to life. This is going to be really neat. And honestly, I've had a couple cups of coffee today, so I really should be gearing to go, but it took a minute for me to figure it out today. Okay, and then we do have some little registration marks on the actual stencil, which is really nice. So as long as you are lining up your A2 size panel, A2 is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, then you will be able to align them in the corners, or just line up the corners like so. Actually, it looks like I need a bigger piece of cardstock. Okay, what size of card is this creating? And see roughly what we have here. I think we are going for a 5 by 7 card. Okay, so let's start that over. I have a piece of cardstock that is 5 by 7. That will work much better. Place this down right on our mat. There we go, and there we go. All right, let me grab my ink, and we're finally ready to start. Actually, I really do think we are still trying to achieve a A2 size card, because I'm looking at the back here and it's showing how the Santa is kind of coming off the edges. So let's see where this takes us. I'm going to start with the face. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make sure my stencils line up in this bottom corner here. And I can even, to make this even easier on myself, I can bring in my stamp positioner to have that just nestle right in the corner. Let's do that. That'll make this so quick and easy. Okay, I've spent 9 minutes just figuring out how to approach this, but it's gonna be worth it. Okay, so there is my, let's just get a little more tape here. Okay, so here is my stencil. As long as I have it right in this corner here, I am good to go. So I'm going to start with, and I'll tape this down. You can use the magnet if you don't want to waste a bunch of tape, but I have more washi tape than I know what to do with, so I'm totally fine with that. I'm going to start with the skin color. So we are going to do the face and little ears. I'm going to grab this light pink brush, and I'm going to clean it off really good to make sure there's no residual color from the last time I used it. And then I'll share the colors I'm using as we go. All right, that's good. The first color I'm using is going to be Nectar. So I'm gonna grab a little bit, I'm gonna tap it off just to get a nice even tone and blend it right within that stencil. Nectar is so light that it takes a lot of layering. Okay, so there is my nice light Nectar color. While I have this stencil, let's go ahead and just remove right here and flip. There's our face. Flip it over. Again, since I'm just nestling my stencil right in the corner here, everything's going to line up. I'm going to do two different colors here. I thought it would be fun to do a light pink for the cheeks and then more of a brighter pink for the hat, which I thought would be fun. And depending on the color choices that you use, your card can look so different each and every time. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'll use the same brush since the shade is just a little bit darker. And then I'm going to focus on just these cheeks here. This is Pink Lemonade. And let's get these really nice and rosy. Love a rosy cheek. Okay. And then this side as well. I think that is going to be Darling. I'm going to peek while my color's still out to see if I need any more. Let's see, come here. Love that, so cute. Okay, I think that's exactly what I wanted. And now what I'm going to do is the hat next. I'm going to switch brushes out, and the color I chose for the hat is Watermelon. I thought that would be really, really pretty. Okay, so Watermelon is going to be this brush. Again, I'll just make sure it's nice and clean from the last color, which looks to be Watermelon, honestly, but since it's been a while and I can't quite confirm, let's make sure it's nice and clean before we start. I'm also going to just bring in a little mask here because we're really close to that edge and I don't want to get any ink on the side. This one's fine because it's going to be far from where our die is going to cut out, right? Oh boy, I barely gave myself enough room there. Okay, maybe I will actually then just mask that off. Okay, there we go. So make sure your first panel is again 5 by 7 in order to start the blending here. All right, now tap that off. I'm going to do this Watermelon color. I like to do more of a pink for my reds. So instead of doing a red, I like to kind of omit and do more of a pink. That's just my style. So you can certainly do this in the traditional colors if you'd like. Okay. And then the ink will smooth as it dries. I think I'm done with all of that. That was really quick and easy. And now we are completely done with this particular stencil. So let's remove the little masks here, just like so. And then remove this stencil. Oop, come here. Okay, there is where we are so far. I'm gonna put that stencil to the side. I'll clean it off later. And then my next stencil is going to be, let's see, face and shadows. So face and shadows. Again, just making sure that's right in the corner. That looks great, just like so. And trying to see what the face and shadows are. Honestly, I think I'm going to layer that Nectar color just to darken up those areas. So I'm gonna bring that back out. I'll clean my brush off because I did use that brighter pink for the cheeks with this same brush. And I just simply use a paper towel to clean my brushes. I've never cleaned them more than that, and I've never had a problem. So I don't think I need to do any masking. Looks like we're just doing the accents of the nose and also the ears and a little shadow for where that hat is on the forehead. It's not going to take too much. This is a really fun idea, and you know what you could do is you could make this card idea in bulk, because you could just have, you know, 6 panels or however many cards you need to make. You could have 6 panels and just go right down the line and get them all done. So this would be really, really fun to do. All right, I think that's gonna look good. I'm gonna take a quick peek just to make sure. And, oh yeah, that is so cool. I love this. I really am easily impressed by layering stencils. I think they're the funnest thing ever. All right, now let's flip one last time. And we are going to do our little accent for the mustache. Or no, is it the actual mustache? Nope, it is the mustache. We're gonna do kind of a light gray, and then we're gonna do the eyes as well. And I'm gonna attempt just doing the eyes in the gray as well. And if I need to bring in a black or a darker color, I can do that. So let's do Dove. I think that'll be pretty. I'll grab my gray brush and give it a quick little clean here. And praise the Lord that I just noticed I have ink on my hand, because that would have accidentally transferred to my card probably around the time that I was completely finished with all of this blending. So luckily we didn't do that. Now, I am not sure exactly how bold this gray is, so I don't use a lot of gray. I'm going to test it out on a just piece of paper here. Okay, so I want to go super light with that. And then of course I'll darken it up for my eyes, but let's go really, really light. Just a little whisper. Okay, and I think that even is good. Okay, now I'm gonna go darker for the eyes, just really layering that on. I'm gonna use the extra that I tapped off on my mat and really darken those up. Okay, I think that looks good. Let's grab just a tad bit more, and that should be fine. Okay, let's take a peek at how that looks. Oh my word, this is so cool. Okay, now I want to show you how you go further with this card. So what you're going to do if you want to do this part is you're going to place your mask over Santa here so that he's completely covered. Then it looks like you're going to just place this one right over as well. I think that's right. And then you'll do your stenciling around. Now, if you are going to just cut this out anyway and put it on your background, you could also grab another piece of paper, do your background like that, and you could then cut your Santa out, plop it on the top, easy peasy. But if you are wanting just a flat card, you didn't want to do the coordinating dies, then what you're going to do is do this method. Okay, I wanted just to tell you about that, but I have another idea of what I want to do here, so I'm not going to go that route. So let's really quickly restart our workstation here. I'm going to make sure there's no ink on my door and put this away. I'm also going to make sure there's no ink on my mat. So we'll give it a quick little wash and continue. Okay, so now I'm going to grab my die and position it just like this. That looks good. Sorry about my hat. I wanted 30 more minutes to read this morning, so that meant not doing a hair wash today. I was really into my book, so I was like, oh, mom math means if I just have a hat day, I can read longer. Okay, let's secure this in a couple places, just like this. Oh, come here. Here we go. And then because of the size of this, I'm going to use my bigger die cut machine, and I'm going to run through really quickly through my Spellbinders Platinum 6 and cut this little Santa out. So as you notice, all of the white is just going to be blank cardstock. All right, now I ran that through, being gentle to remove my die and tape. And then here is our final little Santa. Oh my word. He's adorable, so cute. Okay, so there's where we are at. Now, what I want to do, let's see what, this is A2, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So if we did that, he would just kind of be falling off the sides, which, you know, I think it's super cute. So I'm going to do that. But for a background color, I am instead going to do a powder blue. I think that could be really pretty. So I have powder blue here. I also have this green, which wins. That's really cute. So let's do, actually, whoops, let's trim this down. It's a little scrap here to an A2 size, and I will just have a full size panel for my card. Usually I trim it down further, but I'll do a full size here. So we're going to do 4 1/4. Okay, let's get that all good to go, by 5 1/2. And that will be a standard A2 size card. Now, I want to add some texture to this, so I'm going to find an embossing folder that I think will look super pretty. Okay, I have this little pierced plate. I love this. It's very subtle and fun. So voila, that's how it looks. It has just little pinpricks in the background. It's nice and quiet, but it offers some really fun texture to the card. Isn't that cute? Loving that. Okay, now we have our coordinating stamps. So we can add our sentiment right to the beard, which I think is so cute. So sentiments are Merry Christmas, Let's Be Jolly, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, and Ho Ho Ho. We also have, if you wanted to do something different, you could do a little text bubble, and I think these would obviously fit the two on the right. We also have a joy, which is adorable. So if you wanted to layer the joy, that could be really cute. That's fun. You've always been on the nice list. Come on now, that's so cute. So then you have the banner here. Okay, we also have some little stamps if we wanted to do some holly leaves, which is so fun as well. And we might just do that. So let's figure out what we want to do with a sentiment here. I'm also really kind of liking that joy. My first inclination was to do just a little stamped greeting on the beard, but joy could be really fun as well. Let's see here. Okay, I want to kind of bring this joy in. I'm kind of liking that. Let me give myself some options. Let's start with what I do know. I know I want to do some of the little holly, berries, and leaf. And to keep my card consistent, I'm going to use those same colors. So I'll use watermelon and sea glass. I'm going to move this to the side. That way I can bring in my little stamps here. Okay, here's some cardstock. And we're going to stamp just one little trio of leaves and one cluster of little berries. Okay, so place that down. And first we'll do the leaves. Again with the sea glass. Oh, come here. And that will smooth out a little bit as it dries. And let's just do a tad more on there. Oh, you know what? That got too dark. So I'm going to use that as my stamp conditioner. And we'll just flip this over and do it one more time. In fact, we could do that with our other stamp as well. I'd really like one layer of the color because it kind of keeps it true to its color. Okay, there we go. Now let's do our watermelon, which is a very aggressive color. Let's flip this over and practice on this side. And by aggressive, I just mean it is bold right away. So let's practice over here. Ooh, pretty. Actually, I'm not even going to do any more. That looks great. So it'll be that color, just like that. And just for funsies, let's wipe that up and try what it would look like. Some ink over here too, with the light pink color, just for fun. So we have pink lemonade that we used for our rosy cheeks. Ooh, that's cute too. Where's our image? Could probably even layer that and have it be really fun. I actually like that better. The watermelon is so nice, but it's looking a little red for me, and I like this better. Okay, so 2 layers of the pink lemonade gave me a tone much more similar to the watermelon. So it's so fun because your ink colors can change whether you are blending with them or if you're stamping them directly, which is fun. So it's fun to experiment. Just experiment with what you like. All right, let's put these back. And then I'm gonna start doing a bunch of die cutting. I think I will do the joy, and if I don't like it, then I just decide to do the stamp on the beard, which was my original idea. So let's grab the joy. We're going to need this side. Ended up being everything I wanted. So we'll do this side. And then I'm gonna bring in this color for my joy. I have a little scrap that I can use for the background layer to bring some, hopefully that's big enough. Yeah, to bring a little bit of contrast against that white beard. So let's try that. Oop, I'm gonna need to do this. Okay, we got that one secured. And this one, and then my joy doesn't need some tape because it doesn't matter where it cuts on that piece of paper. But these, it definitely matters. All right, let's send this one through. Cut those out. Okay, so we have our little holly leaves, adorable, berries, equally adorable. And then we have the shadow layer here. Oh, I think that's gonna be really fun. So let's continue with that and then we'll decide. So another thing I want to do is I'm just gonna flip this over and use the back side to cut out joy on here. And here are our letters. Just plop those right on out. There's 1, 2, ooh, and 3. Okay, there's the letters. And now that we have all of our elements, let's do our card base. So I'm going to do a white card base, and then I'm not going to trim this down. It's actually just going to go right on the front here. So let's go ahead, and this is 11 by 4 1/4. We'll place that center score at 5 1/2. And what I'm going to do is actually keep my little score buddy right in here because I'm going to use this to line up my panel. So let's grab some foam tape. Let's make sure that I did trim that to size. Yep, that looks great. Let's do foam tape runner right on this. And I'm being sure to really run that along, let's see if I can show you a little bit better, along the edge of the card too, so that the ends really glue down and aren't lifting. Okay, I think that'll be good. Add some to the middle, and then again, I'm going to use this just like that to line this up. Okay. Then there is the card. That's really pretty. I like that. Now, what I'll do is I'm going to just kind of position everything for where I would like it. And I'm not going to do anything with the Santa until I figure out if I truly want to add the joy or if I want to do the stamp. I kind of wish there was a small sub-sentiment that we could do. But before I decide, let's glue these all together. And if I end up not loving this, what I'll do is just save it for another Christmas card. It's a simple sentiment that can be plopped on any card. I'm also going to grab some tweezers really quick just to help me get this all ready to go. And place these down. Oh, that's so pretty. And then our little O and our Y. And then if we just place that, I like the joy. I think that's fun. And then we can add some embellishments to kind of sparkle up the card. I think it's really cute. Okay, but again, you can do the stamps right on the beard as well. Now, what I want to do here is I'm just going to use these foam squares to really bump up Santa here. Let's see, we can do one there. And you could use a foam tape too. I'm just going to place these all around and give him a little bit of dimension on the card. I'm also going to do it to the joy as well. And then just to make quick work out of this, I'm going to use my little weeding hook to grab the liners right off the back. Just like that. Whoop. Okay. Now, if you wanted to opt for the 5x7 card, you totally can. Totally can. I'm loving how this just falls off the sides. It's super cute. All right, here we go. We also have our little holly leaves, which is so fun. And they just go right on up here, or really wherever you wish. Be just like that. So I think what I'll do is glue those. Yeah, let's glue those and then leave the dimension for the sentiment. Okay, so there's that one. And then add some glue here and plop down my little berries. Oh, they're cute. Okay, then foam squares once more to bump this little cutie up, and we'll trim this down. That way we can get some on that little curve of the J at the bottom. All right, you are going to be so excited about some of the other things that they released. I am really excited. We're gonna make a little kind of Christmas village card. I am just chomping at the bit to get that going. Okay, I'm wondering if I kind of like it like that. Kind of taking the tilt of the Santa as well. Joy. Okay, I'm gonna do this little peach shimmer sequins. It's so fun. Kind of gives that gold look, which I love. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to kind of have 3 here. And then I think I'll even bring a couple up there just to include the card base a little bit more. So let's do this little medium, kind of almost tucking that behind the Santa, a little small one. And then we'll do the same combo, another one here, down below. So we'll do a medium and a couple small ones, whoopsie, just like that. Oh, I love it. I think that is super cute. We are all done. That was pretty quick and simple. I love how that turned out. I think I spent more time just trying to figure out how the stencil worked, but when the light bulb finally flickered, it all came together. But I love that. It's really clean and simple and fun. I love how it dangles off the side of the card, so you would just size up on your envelope, which is super fun. All right, I will list everything that I used to do this card down below. Just click the title of the video, and I'll see you in the next one.